Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back.
What is the haps?
I'm Aaron.
I'm Chase.
We got another episode for you. Guys, we're going to be spotlighting a movie that you've probably all seen before. It is mainstream, but it's definitely worth talking about.
Why do you have to say it's mainstream? Why does that have to be a statement you make? Why can't you just say it's a good movie and we're going to talk about it?
Guys, this is a good movie that's not mainstream.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
So I hit a little nerve there.
You did. It's, look, every time we talk about these movies, it's either mainstream or it's an independent film or a foreign film. I'm just saying, just let it be a movie. Just let the movie be a movie. Anyway,
I just don't want people to think that we're presenting something.
Dude, I messed up your intro. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, we're good. I just don't want people to think that we're introducing something that they were like, oh, dude, what are you introducing? I know The Conjuring. I've seen it 6 times. You know what I mean?
But maybe they want our opinion. Maybe they don't care, but maybe they're just curious what the opinion is.
So anyways,
I'm sorry.
See if I can recover from that onslaught.
You keep calling it, it's just a movie.
It's a movie. It's a movie.
Do
Guys, we're presenting a movie called The Conjuring here. Let us know if you've seen it. Let us know what you think about it. Chase loves this movie.
I think it's great. But I appreciate the true stories. Ed and Lorraine Warren truly love their stories. Given not everything Hollywood puts out and all the actual incidents that occurred line up, but there's a lot of things that do line up. Some of the creepy things that people don't realize that actually did occur. Now, whether you believe or not that it did happen, I believe it did. I don't think these people, based on how their stuff is written, I don't think it's a hoax.
I do think that it's based on actual events. I think they did say that, actually.
It does, but anyway, future episode, excuse me, with a future film. Anyway, Conjuring 2, Conjuring 3, there is a difference. If you've watched Conjuring 3, we're not spotlighting that movie right now, but I'm just saying, I feel like they tried to go the route of making sure they stayed true to the facts, and they didn't expand beyond that. Yeah. Conjuring 1 is very guilty of, let me go outside of that a little bit and Hollywood this up. Nothing wrong with that, given it's what makes great movies. It's what keeps all you horror fans in the seats, watching the movie, buying the movie, so on.
Well, they have to cater to this generation.
Yes.
I think this generation is a little more difficult to satisfy compared to maybe when we were younger, when we were teenagers or whatever.
No, that's facts.
They gotta Hollywood it up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was still creepy as hell.
For sure.
This movie might hit a nerve with some of our subscribers, some of our viewers, because of the fact that it involves exorcism and demonic possession. And, well, guess what, guys? That's horror.
It is.
If it's something that you're not into or something that you don't feel comfortable with, well, Conjuring's probably not going to.
What are they going to do if we review The Exorcist? That's literally a whole movie based off an exorcism.
And I guess we're just going to have.
I guess I'm sorry ahead of time. I don't know. I don't really know how that works. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like if.
I mean, but I guess what I'm confused is okay. So if you are a religious person per se and you believe in the Bible, well, if you believe in God, you believe in angels, well, then you also have to believe in Satan and demons and the devil. So,
for sure,
it's kind of like, just because maybe it's something that you're not comfortable with or something that you don't really like talking about or addressing, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. That's just my opinion on it.
Agreed.
If you don't want to watch a movie about demonic possession and exorcisms, well, then don't watch it. But
do what suits your fancy is what Aaron's trying to get at. Just do what makes you happy.
I mean, I come from a religious background, and movies like this don't make me uncomfortable. They don't make me feel dirty, per se. It's a movie. It's a movie.
Yes, Aaron. It is not a dirty movie. You were correct in all your statements.
It's not a mainstream movie. It's a movie.
It's just a film.
So I don't know. Let us know down in the comments below, guys, if you enjoyed The Conjuring, if you didn't like The Conjuring. Like Chase was saying, there are 4. The 4th one just came out.
There's the 3rd that just came out.
Keep spitting these movies out like crazy.
They're gonna. I don't know that they're due for a 4th. I mean,
if they're making money, they're doing a 4th for sure.
I really think they should just stop calling these things Conjuring and just call it the Ed and Lorraine story, because at the end of the day, that's what they're following.
Yeah. But I do believe James Wan is doing a great job with his movies. I mean, he's got...
Because he's killing it. He is crushing it in the industry.
Insidious.
James Wan, if you watch this video for whatever crazy reason that you decide to, please make a Twitter account, sir. Please. I know that's random, off topic. Make a Twitter, sir, because I would happily follow you. Anyway, continue.
Where was I? Oh,
You were talking about James...
Insidious.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
we are not going to spotlight Insidious right now because, man, that is a whole nother
That's rabbit hole.
rabbit hole.
It really is, dude, because you think, what, that's 4 movies? Yeah, 4 movies, and they...
Yeah, the last key.
I think they lose themselves. I think Insidious loses itself within that, but I will touch on that more as, you know, we actually spotlight those films.
It's kind of hard to... Because with The Conjuring, one thing that they all have in common is the Warrens that are doing these investigations or whatever.
Yeah.
And the Insidious movies are not.
Yeah. But see,
but still very good movies.
Did you like
Excellent
Conjuring? Did you actually like Conjuring?
I really like Conjuring.
Okay.
I do. I'm not going to say it's the scariest movie I've ever seen.
No. Well, it depends on what...
But define scary, you know what I mean?
Exactly. What scares any given individual, because as we've discussed a couple of times at least, what scares you may not scare me, and what scares me may not scare you. There are creep factors to a lot of things, but it doesn't mean you're scared of it.
Definitely creepy.
Yes.
And so one of the other things that I would be really curious to see is how many of our viewers have either lived in a house that was haunted, experienced something that might be related to demonic possession.
Yep.
Once again, in my lifetime, I've seen things that were just creepy for sure.
For sure.
I do recall when we were young. Once again, I did grow up in West Texas. We moved into a house that was just creepy as hell, man. We heard noises all the time.
Yep.
You know, footsteps on the stairs. My stepfather, he vividly recalls when we moved in, there was a red stain on the living room wall, and man, he could not get that red stain out of the wall, and it really bothered him. He would scrub it down, paint it over it. For some reason, it would start showing back up. I was pretty young, so I don't really recall a lot of that, but I do remember the backyard was just... I was terrified to go play in the backyard. They'd be like, "Hey, Aaron, go play in the backyard." I'd be like, "No, I'm good."
Like, it just gave you a creepy vibe as a kid, or you just...
It was just a creepy backyard, man. There was like really high bushes and a lot of trees, and it was just dark, and the grass was so tall. I just didn't feel comfortable back there.
Dude, you need to watch Sinister. Side note, because that's what that reminds me of ever so
Sinister.
Have you seen it? You've seen it, right?
Yeah, numerous times.
You want to talk about a creepy backyard, dude? Jesus.
Yeah, that was a creepy backyard.
God.
Have you ever experienced anything?
So,
as a kid?
Yeah, several things. So there is, back home in Arkansas, there is a couple of different, so there's nursing homes. And to me, like, if anything's going to be haunted or have just a bad vibe to the overall building, if you don't want to call it haunted, just a bad vibe, it's a nursing home.
Nursing home.
There was also a mental institution that was also haunted.
Oh.
But there was rumors, I'm not going to say it was actually proven, but there was rumors that patients were actually being neglected, tortured, and abused at this said mental institution. To what extent, I don't know. I know, you know, the whole straps on the table type thing, like that was a real thing. Like they had those. I have friends that have been to that mental institution. I myself never went. But to get back to what I was talking about, so the nursing home I've been to, the nursing home to this day is actually, there's a police patrol person that stays out there by it because they do not want anything happening to people. They actually will not let you in. We went during a time where it wasn't patrolled that way.
Okay.
From the moment you walk through the front area, and it's the double doors, so as you walk in, it's the front, and they're already open. Like, it's opened already because this place is, I forget how many years old. So you walk in, and from the moment you walk through the door, the whole building itself just feels like heavy. Like, it doesn't feel like, it just doesn't feel good. Like, you ever walk into a room and like the room doesn't feel right? You know something's off about the room, whether it's the energy, the vibe, haunted, you know, there's just something in that room that the room is not right. That was this building in general. and I was young, so I didn't really pay attention to it, but I remember feeling kind of like, I don't want to be here. Like, I really don't want to be here. Like, I'm curious, and I'm here because my friends are here, and I don't want to seem lame for not being here. But definitely, so you walk in, sorry, let me get to my story. Walk in, and the hallways go like that, so it goes off, you know, left and right. There's no straight hallway, and I think it's a roundabout style building. And so we walk in, and we look left, look right, and we stayed in that lobby area, that main area, for a while, all up until, I think it was down the left hallway, if I'm not mistaken. One of the doors slammed, and I'm not talking about like shut, like, you know, like a door just shuts and you could hear it shut.
Okay.
No, this door slammed very, very hard to where it echoed throughout the entire hallway. Needless to say, a bunch of scared kids. We did not go investigate. We left, took off, and never went back. Given, could have been somebody messing with us, but highly doubtful considering the time of night we were there. So, yeah, that's my creepy experience.
I do remember having a grandmother that was in a nursing home when I was young, and I hated going to the nursing home to visit her.
Yeah,
not hated visiting her, but I hated
everybody else.
Yeah, you know, this
not to be
kind
mean.
Of off the,
that sounds mean, but
kind of like off the subject, but still traumatizing in the sense that, like, it was amazing how many. When you would walk down the hallway to go to my grandmother's room,
yep.
How many naked old people would just be standing in their rooms, just the door open, and they're just like standing there, you know, butt naked, and you're just kind of like, oh.
Dude, old people do that at the gym. You want to talk about something that bothers me? Old people do that at the gym. It's like, I've not to go off topic again, but like, seriously though, that is a problem though, because you got these old guys, and I think the only reason they go to the gym is so they can go to the locker room and just be naked. Like, they don't want to do anything else but just be naked.
They're just
and it's like,
maybe something happens, turns into something that it's not. I don't know.
Dude, that's not.
Dude,
anyway, I won't go into that. That's not appropriate for this conversation. Anyway.
You know, somebody out there might want us to go into that. Who knows?
No. So nursing homes, creepy.
Yeah, but
creepy. You're right.
But you're right, though. It has a. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, a lot of people die in nursing homes.
It's true. And it makes sense for it to be.
That's a lot of negative.
It depends on what stays. To me, I guess it depends on the person and the state of being they were in before they passed.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I'm not going to even sit here and pretend like...
I am speculating. No, I am speculating and guessing completely. No, I don't either. Haven't done it yet. I don't know.
Maybe when you die in a nursing home, you stay in front of the door butt naked. Like, that's just where you spend the rest of the
Maybe that's just them practicing.
Maybe I was seeing dead naked old people.
Oh, dude, that's a whole different level. What if you were just seeing naked people that were dead? Like, you weren't really seeing people that were alive.
Wow.
Next level.
Make a movie about that.
That's next level.
James Wan. Next movie should be about dead naked old people.
Didn't Bruce Willis already do this? It's called Sixth Sense. You lose. Sorry, Bruce. He didn't mean to. He didn't mean it.
Yeah, so, but I definitely know what you mean by with that weird vibe you get from nurse, and kind of like hospitals too, but maybe not as much.
It's not as heavy. It's not so. I keep using the word heavy. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know. Heavy is the word that comes to mind because when I was younger, I hated. I don't even remember who I used to go visit. That's terrible, but my young mind doesn't remember. When I went to go visit whoever, exactly, it's awful. So when I'd go visit, I feel like the old people would chase me too. They'd be like, "Oh, you're so cute, get over here." And they're like chasing me, and I'm like, "No." So I never wanted to go. They'd creep me out. They're sitting in like grown-up diapers, freaked me out. I didn't like it. I didn't want to be there. Given that's not their fault. I'm not making fun of that. What I'm saying is as a kid, that's traumatizing and you want to get out.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
Wow, we have derailed.
That's scary. Look, as a kid, if you were chased by a nursing home old person that is only wearing a diaper, you would run.
Yeah. I never got chased.
Yeah. I got chased by a whole group of them. It wasn't just one.
Wow.
There was 3.
When in Arkansas. Go look up, if you're into that sort of thing, look up nursing homes in Arkansas. Maybe that's a thing.
It's so bad. I don't think they allow visitors no more. I think things got weird. I don't know.
Yeah. And you know what, dude? I remember, too, that, like, those people just looked so lonely and so miserable.
It's true, man. It's true.
I remember this one dude, he used to invite me to his room, and he had I want to say it was like, was it a Nintendo or it could have been an Atari? I mean, this is a long ass time ago. He would invite me to his room to play video games with him, and at first I was super creeped out,
yeah, that's creepy. I'm not gonna pretend.
Playing Pong or whatever, bing bing. But we became like pretty cool friends. Like, he told me that he didn't have any kids, and like nobody ever came to visit him. I felt really bad for this guy. So when I would go to the nursing home,
you go see him.
I close my eyes while I'm walking down the hallway so I don't see any naked old people in there.
You are a good Samaritan.
Straight to my grandma. I was like, "Hi, Grandma." I'll give her a quick kiss, and then straight to that room and play video games until we were leaving.
No.
So
you're a good Samaritan, because me, after my first couple of times of dealing with this, I told my family I was not going back.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, who was at the nursing home?
I don't even remember, dude. I still don't.
Was it a family member though?
Yeah, it was a family person of some sort. But like, I felt bad. I felt bad, but like, I'm pretty sure it was a her.
Okay.
Her fellow, whatever, scared me terribly. Like,
her roommate.
I don't know if it was
her roommate.
Dude, it was her friends. Like, they were friends with her. They would come to her room to visit her because she was like bedridden. She couldn't get out of bed. She had to be assisted with everything she did. But like, everybody else in that nursing home freaked me out. I would run from them, sprint, run, like take off.
I believe we have spent way too much time talking about nursing homes and not enough time about The Conjuring, because this movie is really, really good, guys. For those of you who have seen it, you know that.
Have you seen it?
Honestly, I haven't talked to anybody that has seen this movie that said they didn't like it. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, "No, that movie sucked." Everybody liked it because it was very well done.
But was there anything to take away from Conjuring that you didn't like? Is there anything you would have done differently? Don't just say you didn't like it, but what would you have done differently?
I think the big thing for me, bro, with horror movies is if they have an annoying character, don't even get me started on the Babadook. Holy crap. Please,
bro,
guys,
don't derail. Don't derail. Don't do
kid,
it. Don't do it. Don't derail.
Oh, you guys don't talk about that.
Don't
kid.
Derail.
You know, that kid reminded me of Joffrey from Game of Thrones, because, you know, Joffrey was so good at playing, or the kid that played that character did such a good job that you hated him. Like, I literally, like, every episode, I just wanted to see this guy die, like, in the worst possible way.
I think I rooted for that in a lot of episodes. I was like, please die,
I actually read somewhere, too, that when he would, like, walk down his neighborhood, like, when he walked the dog or whatever, people would scream at him and throw stuff at him, and he's like, "It's just my character. It's just my character. Like, I'm not like that in real life." People really hated this guy.
Awful, dude. That's so terrible.
But that kid from Babadook.
What does that say about society? Anyway, that's not important. Whatever.
Maybe people just can't distinguish freaking
real life from
reality
film.
Man.
Or even just reality TV shows, because it's not reality, guys. Not to burst your bubble, but it's not reality.
I'd be curious how many celebrities like encounter that, like, on a regular basis.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
that's kind of intriguing.
Even professional athletes, if you think about it, like, I'm sure they catch a lot of flack.
Well, but when they continue to do stupid things and say stupid things, they're asking for it, you know what I mean? But Joffrey, the guy that played Joffrey, I mean, they were like, "Hey, this is your script, dude. Like, play this character."
You're right.
I mean, you look at, like, Heath Ledger, what happened to him because he got so engrossed in the Joker role that, like, he had a hard time coming out of that, and that could be linked to his death.
Dude, there's so many theories on that. That is a whole nother conversation. So, what was the annoying thing about The Conjuring? Sorry, dude. Not to go. I'm just trying to reel us back in.
That's
here.
what I was. That was my point.
You couldn't dive into it.
I can't really think of anything in The Conjuring that annoyed me per se. I just hated that freaking kid from Babadook.
Yep.
Babadook. I think what I really like about The Conjuring too is the people that they had play the Warrens.
Yep.
Man, they're good.
They are really good. They're good. That's
like,
actually dynamic duo, I think.
Yeah.
I think if anything, so I like the movie too. I'm not actually, I have no complaints about the movie. I think the only thing I would have changed is the amount of possession time. Because once she became possessed, the ending pretty much starts to happen. Like, the ending is happening already. Does that make sense?
I feel like, well, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was too short. I mean, you could have, I guess, made it longer, but
So because here's I think about it from a reality standpoint. So I think about it from a standpoint of, do we know how long, if based on how true the story is, how long she was possessed before said exorcism happened? That's my point.
Well, if you remember in the movie, though, she when she fell. Okay, hold on. Let me try to remember. I remember distinctly where the witch or the ghost or whatever you want to call it, the demon, got on top of her and then spit something into her mouth.
Yep.
I think that's where she like actually got possessed. I think the other stuff was she was just experiencing weird things.
No, you're right. But so from time of, this is way too in depth, but from time of possession up until they, did the exorcism.
Oh, okay. I see.
I'm saying the time frame in between that.
It was
because
days. It was days.
2 at most.
Yeah.
My issue with that is I don't think you're going to pick it up. I don't know firsthand, but I don't feel like you're going to pick that up that fast.
Well, the first time I got possessed, it was about.
This makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to lie. This is enlightening.
I have had
this
people
is
saying that I possibly had the devil in me or whatever.
I mean, haven't we all?
Hate is going to hate.
I mean,
said that in earlier. Hate is going to hate. No, but I don't really know how possessions work. Like,
I don't either. That's what I'm saying. I'm speculating. I am literally just spitballing. None of this is what I'm saying is fact. Or do I think necessarily that it's wrong? Maybe it was only a 2-day possession.
So let's touch on something else that's related to the movie, but it kind of not. Do you believe that there really is a such thing as people getting possessed by demons?
Yes.
Yes? So, I guess, and do you believe that the Catholic Church actually, has priests that specifically handle that?
It's not just the Catholic Church that handles it, but also yes. Because
I always wonder, these people. I've seen people that were supposedly possessed. I won't even touch on that too much, but it makes you wonder if, are they really possessed? Or are they just crazy? Or are they just you have people who are just psychopaths, as I got older and started understanding the effects of drugs and illegal substances. I've seen people just do really, really crazy things and just look crazy, talk crazy, act crazy, and you're just like, okay, are they possessed or are they just high?
It's true.
I think that's just kind of one of those mysteries of the world.
I think that's probably they probably have a process, man. I'm not speaking from knowing point of view by no means, but I think the Catholic Church or whoever is going to, pursue, or if they're called to do a said exorcism, I think it is evaluated. They probably have a process. How do we determine whether or not this is legit, and how do we, you know what I mean? It's not, yeah, absolutely. It's not something where you can just be like, yep, kid has the devil in him. We're gonna, get an exorcism.
But I mean, think about what they did there in the Salem witch trials, bro.
Yeah,
they were literally just like, hey, I don't like her.
True.
She looked at me wrong the other day. I'm just gonna accuse her of witchcraft. And these little people were literally being burned and hung, and just simply because somebody just didn't like them, or they did something that people didn't feel comfortable with,
You're right.
And man, to me, that's just crazy too. How many freaking people died during those Salem witch trials that were just normal people, just wrong place, wrong time. Once again, nothing to do with The Conjuring, but
we went way off The Conjuring several times.
But we are still talking.
We are in the sense within it, yeah.
And I just feel like it's just too easy to label somebody as being evil. I know a lot of really good people that are into.
Yeah.
I have a friend who is a very, very, very religious person. I won't say what religion. I won't say his name. Really good friend of mine, very, very religious, but loves death metal music. Loves it. I mean, it's just and you're just kind of maybe we've been trained to think that it's because somebody's religious and somebody goes to church all the time, but they
don't listen to what they like. I mean,
and but that's me though.
As a teenager, I listened to, I won't say death metal. It was definitely not in the category of death metal, but I listened to metal for sure.
Yeah. I mean, does that make you evil? I mean,
I don't think so.
I mean, this guy was a really good guy.
But to this day, I still don't think I'm an evil person. But that's just me. I'm just saying.
Well, that's debatable.
You make a very, very, very valid point.
I've been called a lot of things in my life.
Evil's never been one of mine.
No?
No. Evil has not. I've been called, the things, but not that.
The things. He's been called the thing.
The things.
I've been called evil. I've been called the devil.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, I can check those off.
You've hit that
Bucket
threshold.
list.
I have not done that dark of stuff. Hasn't happened.
I don't even really think so much it was something that I did. It just is what it is, man. It is what it is.
So you're just the devil by nature? I don't understand. I'm
Once
lost.
again, I don't.
Help!
I feel like it's one of the witches doing this in the witch trials. Like, I don't like this dude. He's evil. He's the devil. He's got the devil in him.
He looked at me crooked.
Get the rope. I don't know, man. But
Yeah.
I think too, like where we grew up in is part of the Bible Belt.
100%.
And I feel like it's just, you got some big shoes to fill down there if you're into anything. I think of the poor Gothic kids that just like wearing black, and they're just like, I'm not evil. I just like to wear black.
I don't know who had it worse, the Gothic kids or the emo kids. Because each got a bad rap for different reasons.
Yeah.
Each got a very bad rap for different reasons.
I got along with both of those groups.
Dude,
just
I fit in. Wow. I would fit in with a lot.
Fit in.
Shut up.
Go ahead.
I was able to get along with the jocks, emos, goth, nerds.
Same.
You take your pick.
Same.
I had friends in each category, and I didn't pay attention to it. Anyway, we are getting off on a far tangent where we're.
I got along with all the gangbanger kids and all the punk kids, the skater kids, the jocks.
Dude, that was me. I was friends with everybody. I didn't notice the difference in categories until I think after high school. I noticed it, but I didn't pay attention to oh hey, I got friends in all these different cliques. I didn't care. I was just friends with people. It didn't matter what clique they were a part of.
Right? Cared. I mean, the school I went to, high school down in Texas, was different. You had such a variety of people, and for me, it was more like survival mode. I knew that if you didn't try to get along with everybody, you were going to have problems.
Yep.
And so to me, it was just I'm just going to be myself and not piss anybody off, and just try to go through 4 years of high school and.
Isn't the goal always not to piss people off?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know about these days.
I don't know.
With social media and stuff, these trolls, man. That's another thing I don't understand is these trolls. Do you really not have anything better than to talk about how annoying and how much they hate Aaron and Chase on Nightmare Talk?
Aaron, what are we talking about right now?
Talking about.
Don't give them ideas.
I'm talking about the witches in Salem. And
Stop giving them ideas. We're gonna get blast hate mail because you gave them ideas. We're gonna get hate mail now because you say something. This is not going well.
So with the exception of the nursing home, was that the only experience that you remember distinctly, or? There's probably other things.
There's other things. So there's other stories for another time, is what I will say. So there is one occurrence. You were there actually. You remember this. So. When we were sitting in my kitchen, we were about to go on a camping trip, all of us. So we're sitting there, and we were having breakfast. Everybody was eating a little something before we headed off to go set up camp and get everything squared away. So we're sitting there. We're all just kind of sitting in the dining area or whatever, and nobody is near my sink. Nobody is in the kitchen area in front of the sink. And Aaron can vouch. Aaron was sitting right there with me when sink all of a sudden went from off to on with no explanation. Very weird circumstance, and to this day I still don't have an answer for why that happened.
Yeah, I can't think of
and I can't think of any reasoning why that would happen. It's never happened again, I can tell you that. It was a one-time occurrence where.
So touching on that, I believe that this might be the one episode that we should be getting a lot of comments on, because I believe that everybody has had something happen that they just couldn't explain.
100%. Yeah.
Whether it be noises
or just weird. Even if you can't, like, one thing if you can't explain it. If it was just weird and out of the ordinary, I'm not asking you to give me a comment that says there was a ghost, there was a demon, you know, this, that, and the other. I'm not asking you to say that. All I want to hear is just your story of a weird circumstance where something happened. You to this day cannot explain that.
Yeah.
I don't want you to try to tell me what it was, because if you don't know, neither do we.
Yeah, we don't
because we're not investigators. We don't know. But if it's interesting enough, we would like to tell your story. Actually, if nobody minds, I would like to tell your story during a shoot. That way, publicly, we can talk about it. Won't drop names, but we will just talk about it.
Especially if it's really, really creepy. It'd be really cool to...
Honestly, those kind of stories, it's crazy. I can listen to people's scary stories all day. Like, that is something, if people are willing to share, and some stuff, I know it's sometimes hard to talk about, because literally it scared them to the core, to where they're like, I just don't like talking about it.
Right.
Given, we're not asking you to do that. But if there are ones you will share, or if there are things you can share, please drop it in the comments. Send us a message. Send us an email. Whatever.
Yeah, because once again, it'd be really cool to share those particular stories with everybody else. Because scaring is caring, buddy.
It is. Scaring is very much caring.
Yeah, that's what we're about. So
Monsters Incorporated, thank you.
I'm just sitting here trying to rack my brain. I know I've had more things happen.
Even if you have, it's for another episode.
True. It's not like this is our end.
I was about to say, this is not the, this is not the finale. We're not done here. This is going to go on.
Yep. So we will touch on, we are planning a overnight experience at a local haunted park close to where I live here.
Yep.
I know we've mentioned that before, but we definitely want you guys to know that we haven't forgot about that. We haven't gotten away from it. It is something we're planning. So that's coming soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
And we're going to be doing some other crazy stuff, guys. You know what? I'm just going to give you some teasers right now, because maybe, there might be some people that are losing interest because they're just not so much into the podcast style that we're going for here. But we're going out to Area 51, guys. Me and Chase are going to be going out to Area 51, and we are going to pull over on the side of the road, because obviously you cannot get in.
Nope.
And we're going to go out there, and we're going to stay overnight, and we're going to take some friends of mine, some co-workers of mine that have a YouTube channel as well, and we're going to do a compilation video, and we're going to see what happens, because, man, there's a lot of activity going on out there. Things are crazy. Whether you guys want to admit it or not, facts are facts. It's on the news. Turn on the news. Look it up online. Okay, so I am going to touch on something that I'm really irritated with right now, and
here we go.
Yeah, it's a little rant that I'm going to go on, because I'm getting it all the time, and I just don't freaking understand it, dude.
Aaron's rant. Let's go.
Aaron's rant. Destination frustration right here.
Here we go.
So my thing is like how quick people are to say that UFOs and Sasquatch is a distraction. Now hear me out. Like, this is going to take me a minute. Okay, distraction, like, define distraction. Like, just because it's something that you don't really want to put any attention to, or that you just don't want to acknowledge, anything could be labeled as distraction. A tornado is a distraction.
From what? What are they saying? Is it like,
just in
give
general.
Me some context? Okay.
Most of the time, it pertains to, it's a distraction from God and from people, trying to have their walk with God and their relationship with God. And I know we don't want to touch on this, but I got to touch on this because I don't understand it. Please, somebody help me understand this, because anything can be labeled as a distraction. Okay, your job is a distraction. Okay, if you have a stomach ache, that can be labeled a distraction. Like who determines what's a distraction and what's not? So are you just not going to go to work and pay your bills because you feel like your job is a distraction from your relationship with God? And this isn't, I'm not saying that UFOs exist, and I'm not saying anything like that, but my thing is like, so many people just won't even acknowledge that it's a possibility simply because they say it's a distraction. And I just feel like we're making up the rules as we go at this point.
Yep.
Who defines what a distraction is? Who defines that?
So,
Please.
here's my thing with that.
Please tell me.
Well, I guess from your standpoint, it might be different than my standpoint. Because if it's being called a distraction from a religious standpoint, I don't think the two, to me, go hand in hand. Because, like you were saying, a job shouldn't be a distraction. You know, your kids keeping you busy throughout the day shouldn't be a distraction. You know, road rage, driving home shouldn't be a distraction. You shouldn't have, if it's the thing of not having distractions, I don't buy the whole, like, it's just a distraction type thing. I don't see their point, because that's a very broad statement, like you're touching on.
To me, it's really frustrating because, okay, if you can prove that something exists, if this cup, okay, this cup exists, guys, you guys can see this cup, I'm touching this cup, I can set this cup on this table, okay, but because somebody might be like, I don't want to acknowledge this cup, even though physically it's here, okay,
Then what does it matter?
hence, that doesn't matter,
But it bothers you, so why does it matter?
it bothers me because of how, I don't know, how quick people are to maybe like imply that we
Hold on.
have no sort of relationship with God because we choose to acknowledge these distractions.
Hold on.
So I know we're getting.
Hold on. So that's what makes this channel right here great, is because
Okay.
what I will say is that I don't make this channel for all the followers that want me to say certain things and to think a certain way and to be a certain way. That's not who I am. That's not how I was raised. And I'm definitely not going to start now because I started some podcast YouTube channel.
No,
So
it ain't gonna change anything.
And so, at the end of the day, I believe in your cup, and I can, you know, see it's real.
Right.
And I could care less if anybody else says it is.
Yeah, it's not so much that I care about whether these. To me,
If it's under your skin, it bothers
like
you.
I said, it frustrates me how quick people are to just throw that card, though. To throw that card.
That's their boring.
I guess it's just one of those mysteries
Standpoints.
in life where you're just kind of like, how do you justify what you're going to acknowledge and what you're not going to acknowledge? Because it's something that you just, you know, that you don't want to believe in.
Yep.
You know, and once we do our episode on Sasquatch, guys, I'm letting you know right now, it's not going to be a 30-minute video. It could possibly be part 1, part 2, part 3, because when you touch on Sasquatch, like, you can't just be like, okay, yep, it exists. And
It'll be in segments. That's that's going to be in segments. That's not going to be something where
yeah,
we're going to be able to touch that in one episode, because that's just not fair to anybody.
and just
at
the
all.
amount of participation that I anticipate
Yep.
possibly receiving,
Yep.
whether it be special guests.
Yep.
I know I got friends of mine down in Texas that are just like,
Yep.
bro, I can't wait for you guys to touch on that, and we're gonna touch on that because that's
hot.
me and Chase's big
That's
thing
hot.
right now.
The fact we don't actually talk about it every episode, y'all should be really
we're saving
happy.
it. I think we're saving
And honestly, I'm letting it lay dormant to
fine.
where once it does come up, you got a lot of material coming your way.
It's
You have a
fermenting,
lot
for
of
sure.
you have a
It's
lot of
fermenting.
stories coming your way. You have
Mm-hmm.
there are so many things.
Right.
And so what I will lightly touch on, to go back to what Aaron's rant was about, was I don't bite off on the whole, you can't tell me something's not real if you didn't go looking for it. First off. Because if you went looking for it and you didn't find it, okay, cool. Like, I can appreciate what you're saying. Doesn't mean I don't think that it's not still out there. I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't, but I can believe and I can have my opinion the way I want it to be. And I don't need anybody else to try to dictate that
Right.
for me. That's what makes, that's what makes America great, and that's what makes just being your own individual. Like, your own individual, that's what makes that great. So,
I mean, it's the same thing with ghosts, like with the Conjuring. you
dude,
know?
believe or don't, man. Like, it does not make a difference to me. If you don't believe, that's fine. If you watch this channel and you're like, these guys have lost their minds, they are complete nut jobs,
We told you we were going to talk.
why am I subscribed?
But once again, I think that is where the authenticity comes from for this channel.
For sure.
Because guys, you know damn well that you can log on YouTube and you can watch your videos on anything and everything. But when it comes to just real talk, what you get with me and what you get with Chase is real talk. And at the end of the day, we didn't do this to make money. We didn't do this to
Not
get
at all.
a ton of subscribers. We did this because we like talking. We feel like there's other people out there that are like us
100%.
who enjoy listening to people have a conversation about whatever they want to talk about. And so to me, it's like it's going to be impossible for me to have a channel like this without having rants every once in a while, because I do get pretty passionate about certain things. And you know, I believe that just because you may be interested in something that could be controversial to somebody else does not make you a bad person, does not mean that you don't have a relationship with God. You know what I mean?
But this is where you got to be careful, because you're playing into, so the way that person is about your opinion, you're kind of the back direction and the tennis ball back at them, in the sense of you're right back at them with that same thing.
The only reason I even touched on it is because we have lost a couple subscribers who simply were just like, well, we don't really like the topics that you guys talk about. We feel like it's a little maybe towards the dark side or whatever. And I'm just like, cool, you know.
No, so 100%. I almost said something really mean, but I won't. Never mind. Because in that sense, like, we don't need your follow. We don't need your subscription anyway, because I don't want you to be a fake subscriber. If you listen to this channel, I want you to listen to the channel for the simple enjoyment, participation, interactive between Aaron and myself. I don't want you here because you feel like you're trying to support somebody and all this whatever, and you have a hidden agenda to turn somebody from the dark side. We are not Star Wars. We just want to make a YouTube podcast talk show. That is all we're trying to do. We're just having conversation. Nobody's pledging allegiance to anything on this podcast. Conversation, that's it.
And to touch on that is, I feel like if somebody is comfortable enough with who they are as a person, they should have no problem listening to two other people talk about whatever they want to talk about, and just be like, well, I don't necessarily agree with them, but whatever. I do enjoy listening to them talk. So my rant is over. I do apologize for that, but once again, like, I'm going to touch on certain things because that's what this channel is it's me and you talking about whatever we want to talk about. And so, we're going to talk about ghosts, we're going to talk about demons, we're going to talk about scary movies, we're going to talk about whatever. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. I know
you guys make it happen. Make it happen.
And and we are gonna have our loyals who are just like, right on, dude. Like, thank you guys for keeping it real. Thank you guys for staying true to what you are, because that's what we are going to do.
That's not changing.
That's a guarantee. Put a freaking sticker on that, because that's a guarantee.
It's not going anywhere.
To stay real with what we are and what we're trying to do. And if we lose people along the way, so be it.
Bye.
We march on. So. Anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Once again, if you haven't seen The Conjuring, check it out. If you've seen it, hit us up. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
Hit the like button and subscribe. It's very easy.
Knock it out.
Please.
And guys, we will be back very soon with another episode. Thank you for the support.
Fox Ridge. Stay tuned, guys. We'll see you later.
Take care.
Bye.